Come on. You can do it. Oh, we're just going to go. I don't know what that was. It didn't even play on my side. It just it shot up and then it disappeared. So I don't know. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Immunity. I'm having some technical difficulties on my end. Apparently, great to have you guys. How do we think? I know I don't want anybody to run out, get some KFC right now, but like, what are we thinking about this episode?
Steven's wigging out, man. Steven is wigging out. That's not the highlight of the episode, of course, but I thought it was another great episode. I think this is a good season, and I love the fact, I think Jeff loves the fact, I think he even mentioned it right before the reward challenger. He was like, day 14 and it's fluid, which compared to last season, it was definitely not fluid game. It was all the post-David show where everybody was just getting axed. And so I would just like to go ahead and say thank you for this season as of right now. So Alex, your thoughts?
I don't know about it. I'm not going to thank him for the season. I mean, it's okay.
Thank him for the season.
Thanking him.
Give him your reward.
No reward. I mean, the big news this week is that Survivor 49 is plummeting in the ratings. The ratings are plummeting and nobody wants to watch it anymore. What the heck? No. I don't think it's a terrible season, but I wasn't like, I mean, this is just the Savannah and the Rizzo show now. And it's like watching Boston Rob on Deal or No Deal Island. It's like stealing candy from a baby. Like, it's like easy. Like it's just, I don't know. I was confused by the Alex vote. Yes, he's playing both sides, but it just seems like Rizzo and Savannah here are just like, it's just going to be easy to the end. So I'm not super well. And then we also know the spoiler too. I think that's what's making it so maybe unenjoyable, or like, I'm just like, I'm not super involved in it. It's just because of the spoiler. Yeah. And they didn't have that, I'd be a little bit more like engaged.
You wonder if this would not feel like the Rizzo and Savannah show had we known that these two people are going on to season 50. So I think I would be much more impressed with the games of Savannah and Rizzo, which is crazy, I think. Because I think they are playing that well, but I think I'd even be more impressed had we not known. And you have a good point. I tend to think that a season's ratings are only as good as the season before, and I don't think 48 set us up for strong viewership. And you're right, neither does knowing who goes long in this game.
I'm telling you, I haven't liked it from the get-go. I said I don't like knowing. I like to know stuff, but I don't like to know throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's like a spoiler from the start of this show, and it has definitely influenced how I am watching this season, and I think that's true for a lot of people.
I'm going to chat GPT right now. Who let the cat out of the bag? Like, because Jeff did say that two of these people are going, but as publicly, he didn't state that until like 2 weeks ago. So I'm wondering how they found out. Was there any way not to tell people? I think we should take a pause here because we have a response from the world. Is Juwan Superman? Last week, MC told Juwan he is being targeted by Sophie. This week, Christina gave her food reward to Juwan.
I think Juwan's just a really likable guy. I really think he's very likable, but people seem to, and I see it at the most at Tribal Council, is people just seem to like him, and he can say a lot of goofy things, and people just are like, but that's Juwan, and we like him. And so Christina gives up. That's actually the first. It's funny that you mentioned that, Tetsuya. I'm gonna go with that because that's about as far down the line of that name that I can do.
Nope.
So thank you for the comment. But I think we've seen Christina giving things up. It was what we talked about right before we went live. Was giving up the food reward, what impact does that have on their games, right? What impact does that have on Juwan's game, and what impact does that have on Christina's game? Because does that make her look like a weaker link? Does that take threat off of her? Does that give her favor? Because we have to keep in mind that at many of these rewards where you either get to select the people that go with you or people switch places, that usually means that person's going home, right? So it would have meant like Christina would have been the target from in most cases. This time it didn't seem to really bother anybody, and I think that's the likability factor of Juwan. That's my thoughts. What do you think?
And I think it goes to show like what not complaining does and how powerful it is to not complain. I think we saw part of the reason why I never viewed Sophie regular as a strong competitor is because of when she complained, like episode 2 or 3 about the fruit. I think she had at it with Juwan, I think earlier in the season, right before challenge. So I think the amount you complain on this show, whether it's filmed or not, I think allows people to form opinions as far as, do you deserve to win? And I think it's hard to go through all the seasons and think about when was last time a complainer won the game of Survivor. And so I think the fact that he didn't complain about his meals goes a long way in this game of people living together in the same place.
Alex, thoughts?
Well, you know who's a big complainer that I found out about this episode is Sophie, Deloitte Sophie, or what do they call her? Yellow Sophie. Man, I thought she was going to be like kind of likable, but she got a vote from MC, or MC targeted her last time. And she just comes in and she's just like not warm. She's not a warm personality. She doesn't like, she's not able to kind of get in close with people. She's very kind of cold. And then it's all about, you know, when the clips of you saw, it was like all about her, like, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm the victim. And like, how do they do this? And everybody hates me. And it was just like, really, like, that's not how you, like, she's like, I'm a free agent now. I'm going to play the middle, but she doesn't have any actual alliance. So you can't play the middle if you don't actually have an alliance. I mean, unless she's going to like snake through and win challenges. But I think Savannah actually too might go on to be like the most winning female, you know, challenge beast ever. I think she might win the most amount of immunity challenges because she doesn't have a lot of competition. I think they're going to go after Sophie probably next. Steven, I think, is a good endurance threat and a good challenge threat. So maybe there'll be kind of a battle between them. But I don't know. I just kind of feel like Savannah. Did I say Savannah? I feel like Savannah's going to like go on and like win the most amount of challenges out of any female, and she'll become like this legendary. But like, but not really, because the season seems pretty easy. So that's kind of my analysis. Is I was disappointed to see my top pick Sophie just respond so poorly and not be able to like string it. And that's why I think they were saying she was a threat, was because she was kind of cold and above it all and like not connecting with people. And because she wasn't connecting, they were seeing her as like kind of this threat, this kind of sleeper, maybe even like a Rachel type. But I think even Rachel was a little bit warmer because she was a little bit more like nerd, you know, and like that's a little bit more endearing. I think you're seeing this like with Juwan, right? Or with Steven, like because everyone's like goofy and quirky, that like the nerds, they have this lovability factor. So if you're a little bit like Savannah gets mean girl, everyone, oh, she's so mean. Why? Because she's not a nerd. So she's not like, doesn't have that lovableness to her.
No, you know, she's arrogant.
Well, she's arrogant too. You know, she's super arrogant. She's like, oh, everyone's upset. You know, she's so I agree, but it's just interesting, like the dynamics. Like it used to be like the nerd would be totally outcast, like weirdo, like Sage is on the outside. Nobody likes Sage. And sorry, my connections. So yeah, I mean, like Sage traditionally would be completely on the outside, total weirdo. And then in this season, though, like all roads lead to Sage, and everybody loves Sage, and she's like the most, like the most sought after person, right? So.
Yeah, I want to talk sometime about this Steven going up to Sage and thinking that he had to earn trust chips with Sage and tell him the information about the idol, which I don't necessarily think he needed to do. I thought that, Sage only has that 3-person alliance. So I'm curious as to why that trust was needing to be built. And then they don't even vote with them when it comes to the vote out of Alex, because I think Steven voted for Soph, if I am not mistaken. So that was kind of not
that threw me for a loop. Steven being like, "Oh, Sage is my number one." I'm like, what?
He doesn't really have anybody else right now.
Yeah.
I mean, people are listening to him, but I don't know if people are talking back to him when it comes to that. Gardy, first, Tats, thank you for letting us know the CBS podcast that Jeff alluded to, the winners. I've yet to see that, but thank you for that information. Gardy says Savannah will win the challenges that are made for her, like the last two. Let's talk about that. So Savannah is seemingly the most, as far as like isolated exercises, seems to be the strongest of them, of the girls. I think that Sophie, regular Sophie, it seems to be the strongest out of the women that are there. These two challenges were very much a I don't want to say a short girl, but less weight the better. But if you are toned and shorter, then that's for you. Guys do not do well with leg challenges. Girls are amazing at them. So kudos to them. We'll see what happens. I think the type of challenge is going to be very much a factor in who goes home this season, for sure.
Well, I look at the showdowns we've had 2 weeks in a row, Savannah versus Sophie. And in my opinion, Savannah didn't break a sweat on either of those. And Sophie definitely did. I think Savannah could have gone a lot longer on both of those. I think she was in her element. Those are her kinds of challenges. And she, I think it's definitely a mind game with Savannah. I think she's just very strong mentally when it comes to these, because she's just super, super focused. You can see it in her. So incredibly focused. Didn't let, Steven's rocket science knowledge come into play on any of them. She was just like, I know what my job to do is here. And Sophie, even though she's taking second on these, and so she's definitely, got an advantage against some of the other people on the, obviously she was second among everybody there. But I think she has to work a lot harder for it. And the longer we go in the game, I think that's going to come into play where she's going to start losing some of that strength that she has, just not eating and not sleeping well. And, just all of it. And so I don't, if I'm looking at things, I'm not seeing Sophie as this big, huge physical threat. Nothing compared to Savannah. I think Savannah is a real threat. I've seen her compared to Parvati. I enjoy Parvati's manipulation and gameplay, and I don't enjoy Savannah's as much. And I know we have a comment in here. I'm a Savannah fan. I feel like I like that she made it to Survivor 50. Well deserved.
Literally Savannah's profile picture. It's literally Savannah.
I know.
I hope it is, Savannah.
I'm a Savannah fan.
Yeah, look who I picked. Look who I picked.
Doing PR.
I hope this is her.
Her big secret is out this episode too.
Oh, I know. She's a news
reporter.
Yeah, she's a news reporter.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's some scary
Hopefully
stuff.
That doesn't leak. People will really.
I know.
They're gonna betrayal.
Hating on my girl.
I did not. I mean, I think she was trying to. It was kind of like watching Heather Dubrow try to be a comedian. And if you know, you know. If you know, you know. And I didn't like. So I didn't think it was. I don't know if she was trying to be funny, but when she was like, "Yeah, you can thank me. This was my, trying to give everybody and be nice to everyone and take one for the team." I just thought it was arrogance. I totally believe that she believed every word she said. And so I feel that mean girl energy. I totally agree with that when Christina
was
said
that when she won the Idol, like won the immunity challenge, she was like, you were all gonna vote me off, but like,
Yep.
screw you. Like I don't know. It's just really
There's an arrogance to her that just bothers me. And so
I will say that I don't think she's reading the room completely. I'll agree to that. There is a time and place where you have to sell your game, and I don't know if this is necessarily it for her. Man.
Well, I was saying that Savannah was pretty much a shoe-in to win, but because she's seeming to be kind of unlikable and Christina doesn't like her, she's like, sorry, you give off mean girl energy. I'm actually feeling like Rizzo, because Rizzo's been faking the idol this entire time. I mean, this is like his big thing. He's not using the idol, he's faking this idol, and he's keeping it through all these tribals until his last possible time. So I'm feeling like, and then I feel like Rizzo's more likable too. And if you looked at the MC vote, he was the one who swayed everybody, not Savannah. So Rizzo's really the one, regrettingly. I mean, I'm personally voting for Blue Sophie at this point. But what was that?
So why don't I like him either?
I think you're completely against them saying who these people were.
I just don't like them because I'm like, I know that because you want to root for the underdog, you want to root for something. Yeah, and like I said, it's such an easy season for them. Like, if you can't win this season, then you're not much of a player at all. So let's read the comment.
Yeah, absolutely hate the Parvati comparison. The latter was fun, had charm. Here it is, just intense and a bit arrogant. But Savannah is highly entertaining. TV gold. Yes, that's what they want. Yes. That's why she's there.
Yes, you guys have been wanting a villain, and you finally
she's not.
She went to the well, and she was like, "Oh, woe is me. I'm so like you want to see bloodthirstiness. You want to see somebody who's
eat the coffee, eat the last of the sugar.
Yeah, I have a dark. You want somebody to be like, I have a dark past, and it's made me dark.
How quick is your memory to be gone? She tackled almost MC to the ground, trying to get an idol that wasn't hers.
She didn't do it. Yao Man did that to Johnny Cochran.
Yes.
Or not to Johnny Cochran, to Fair Play. Fair Play.
Yeah.
So Savannah didn't do it. She didn't do the Yao Man. So wasn't really that evil. Did she really see it? Better personal story, Savannah's stressful job story, and Jawan fatherless story. Jawan fatherless story, of course. That picture with his sisters, and he's at the challenge, and he's saying
all their names.
We love that. That's good stuff, right? So no, Jawan, we that's very nice, and that's I think why Jawan is so well liked, because he is that.
He's humble.
They were saying that, right? He's humble.
He totally is.
He's a hard worker. He was always saying he's always taking care of people at the camp. So he's like dad. Now that Nate is gone, he's like dad to the camp. He's uncle. He's Unc. No,
I could do away with Jeff. I could do away with Uncle Jeff, but
he's the real Uncle Jay, Uncle Jawan.
Oh, gosh. It's getting deep.
Come on.
We got some stuff. The comments are fire today. Let's go.
Unbelievable. I think Savannah has played. I'm going to go one more time with Savannah. Yes, she may be. No, she is she is arrogant. I think she has, and she's playing the game. The projection of a game that does deserve, out of these 10 seasons, a season 50. And I'm still wondering why Soph, what was the decision in Savannah over Soph? And maybe because Savannah is a challenge beast, I still think that Soph, with all the information she has, being part of the most powerful alliance, and they don't realize just how powerful they are, because she still has the ability to make the alliance more powerful, and they don't know that, or to completely dismantle that alliance by stealing Riz God's idol if she wants to later on this season. So I love this, and I think that I can now see why season 50 is Riz God's and Savannah's. Alex, is your comment about if you can't win this season, you can't win any of them or whatever? Do you think that the other players are noobs?
They're noobs. They're total noobs. They just can't get it together. They can't vote Savannah or Rizzo out. They understand they're the threats.
Mm-hmm.
They never get them out. Like this is where like Australian Survivor, like they see a threat, they get them out.
Yeah.
It's like right away. It's like no question, this person's gonna win. We all see it, we all know, we're getting them out. Now it kind of makes Australian Survivor sometimes boring because you're like, oh, those were the good players. I wanted to see them go out. You know, you look at the last season, it was like the Golden God, King George. It was all the big players except Poverty. And who won? Poverty. So it's like when you have these big players in, you just have to get them out. And that's why I call it like all these people noobs, is because they've had all these chances to get out Rizzo. They haven't even flushed the idol. And then there's just this obvious, like, that they're totally not unified either. Like, Steven can't get along with Sophie. Steven can't get along with Christina. Like, they just let themselves, and they can't, like, they think of themselves as so intellectual, like as such intelligent players, but they're all just doing it all off of emotion. You know, and like MC coming out of the game and they're all like gutted, and like they don't even go over to Sophie S, Yellow Sophie, and like mend the relationship. Like they let her feel like she's, you know, not even.
We were
human.
pissed that you didn't leave, and that's how we're gonna leave it. We're not
so like
even gonna worry about it.
It just seems like everyone's playing poorly, and then Rizzo and Savannah and Blue Sophie are just like, we said this last. They just have high certainty.
Yeah, you guys
they're entrepreneurs. They're self-driven, and all these other people are just looking for a leader. And that leader was MC. Once MC went out, they all fall apart, and that's exactly what we kind of said. Was like she was the thing that was holding them all together.
Yep.
Well, I was just gonna say I wanted to get to this comment. I think this is so spot on. Soph gives Nickelodeon vibes. When I saw that, I was like, that is such a spot on take on Soph. Like that is
good take. Yeah.
Really, really good take. Because I totally see that now. Because that is exactly it. So
she kind of has like female SpongeBob voice.
Yeah.
Female SpongeBob.
Well, you know, nobody here is playing this amazing game except for maybe Riz and Savannah. Here's the deal. First of all, I have questions. I have so many questions. Okay. So Juwan and Sage are supposed to be like, they're the top dogs. They're the whatever. I don't see that at all. I don't know where that came from. Also, if you don't see the voting block of Savannah, Riz, and Soph, like that's a 3-person voting block. You have to take that out. If Coach was here, he'd be screaming at you. You got to kill cut the head of the snake off. You got to take out their army. You got to get rid of them. Like, what is happening here? How do you it's so blatant. It's not even like, I wonder if they all of those 3 vote together. That's not even a question. So why would you not see why would you go Alex when this is such a block of votes that you have to destroy it as fast as you can?
Well, I think that's the problem with Sage, is that they came to Sage, they saw her as just somebody who's like, I just remember when Alex and whomever else, I think it was Juwan, came up to her, or no, Alex and Steven, and they're like, hey, da-da-da-da about Savannah. And she goes, oh, you're now seeing it? So like, I think Sage has all the smarts to play this game very well, but I don't think she believes in herself enough to form a group to do something to advance. I don't think that she ever has considered herself a leader in this capacity. I don't think Juwan has either. He even stated he's more provider. I think he'd put himself in the provider. If you asked him if I'm a leader or provider, he's going to say provider. Savannah's a leader. Rizgod is a leader. Soph reminds me so much of who is the other survivor who played in a lot of tribal councils and won and voted off. She was the sex therapist. Voted off Queen Sandra. Denise. Yeah. There's a lot of similarities there with Denise, but I would say the strongest reason why Savannah and Rizgar are playing so well is because they believe that they can be a leader, and they are. If Sage believed that, I think
that they have influence.
Yes.
Yeah, that they can influence people. You know, I was totally agreeing with you, Bree. Like, they're like, Alex is playing the middle. We need to vote him off. Okay, well, the other people on the complete other side, they're nowhere close to the middle. So Alex is in the middle, halfway to you. The other people are completely against you. So we need to make sure we vote off the guy who is sort of kind of with us.
Could be a vote for us.
All the people who are our total enemy. So it's like, what? Oh, and I mean, there's obviously the irony too of the guy from Washington playing both sides and making deals. Right, of course. But that like didn't make any sense. Like Alex wasn't. Yeah, it just didn't make any sense. Like vote off Blue Sophie, flush Rizzo's idol. At least get it out there and at least get Rizzo kind of afraid and frantic and get him on his back feet. Like, you know, like.
And if he's your side at all, why are you listening to him?
Right.
Like, honestly, why are you listening to him?
Well, how much? Go ahead.
I just think, you know, I watch him walk up to people and everyone is just so on board with what he says. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my, you know, and I'm like, yeah, but have you not seen Survivor? Have you not, like, you were all after Rizzo. Rizzo knows you're coming after him. Now he's pointing you in a different direction and you're buying it hook, line, and sinker. This is the greatest salesman I've ever seen.
He's confident, man. He is confident.
It was when Rizzo told Jawan, he was like, yeah, Alex is like coming after whatever, is coming after you. And Jawan's just like, what? Oh no. Like believes him like fully, like right away. It's like, yeah, exactly, Bree. It's like, have you watched Survivor before? Obviously Rizzo is doing this. And like, isn't everybody playing both sides? So why is that such a travesty? Why is that such a, you know,
he shouldn't have that much influence because people be. I want to get to this comment. Savannah, Blue Sophie, and Rizzo's team should ask Christina and Yellow Sophie to take out Sage and Jawan.
There's a real need.
I don't think Sage and Jawan are really any kind of a threat. So the other thing that we didn't talk about that I wanted to get to is one of the things that they're not seeing in Savannah, and I think this might be her downfall, is her attitude and the way she says things, and like the arrogance in her is horrible jury management. Like, we are at jury management time. We have to be thinking all of the time, and you can't come into tribal and behave with such arrogance. Like, I did this as a favor for the team, and you know, you guys should all thank me. I took one for the team, and you know, and I know she was trying to be joking, but it's not coming across that way. And they're going to pick up on that. It's not going to get her that vote if it comes down to, and this would be my next question to you guys, is if we see Savannah and Riz in the finale, who gets your vote so far?
Rizzo for sure. I was saying that at the beginning. Rizzo for sure, because he's faking the idol. He's really the main target. Yes, Savannah's the target too, but I think Rizzo's more likable. Savannah's going to be like, I was a reporter. Oh, and Rizzo's going to be like, my family is first generation, you know, and like we grow impoverished, and I'm a hustler, and I'm young, and I'm likable, you know. So like he has a better story. Savannah's story is like, it's not compelling. And then yeah, people think she's mean. And Rizzo's like the main target with the idol, and really the one doing most of the keeping their alliance safe. But I mean, the one thing, and we know that this isn't, and it doesn't factor in at all, is like immunity challenge wins. I do think Savannah's like going to go like on this crazy run, win a ton, but I just don't think that's going to come in as like a factor as far as her getting any extra votes. You saw that on Australian Survivor with, what was his name? He won like the most challenges ever, and nobody cared.
Because we can't remember his name.
right. It's like Caleb or something.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Brandon.
Yeah. So first, that question is really, you know, basically subjective to the person you're asking, right? So like for me, I don't care about the story part. If they mention their story part like pregame, I'm much rather probably use that against you and be like, well, you know, that your story doesn't matter to me in the game. It's just that's just who I am and how I vote. So if I look at the players, Savannah winning the immunity challenge, she has easily over everybody else. Being able to keep this extra vote a secret for the people that she needs to keep it a secret to. And that's about all she has right now, because the only allegiances she really has of people like that like her and have teamed with her are Soph and Rizgod. I mean, she's the reason why the three are together. It wasn't because Rizgod and Soph. So that's another plus in her corner. When it comes to Rizgod, he's been able to wisely not play his idol 2 votes in a row and was the protagonist probably in getting both MC and Alex out. He's the one who said MC. He's the one who said Alex. So as of right now, I would rather, I like the social game best. I don't know who I'd vote for because, again, it's against Alex, who's been smart about playing his idol and still has a relationship with Juwan. I think his relationship with Juwan is kind of like Sophie's relationship with Savannah. So it's pretty neck and neck for me, and it's only neck and neck because Savannah's winning these challenges. I think you have to put that in consideration as well. So maybe it does come down to the personality, and I'd rather give it to Rizgod's personality than Savannah's at this time.
Good answer. Do you like Savannah fist bumping Jeff Probst after the immunity challenge? I thought it was cool. I don't know if I've ever seen that before too. But I thought, she won 2 in a row back to back. He's always impressed by people that give it their all. And she didn't even seem very phased or winded by any of the competitions she was in, and won them easily, in my opinion. So I think he's impressed with her mental fortitude. And, so I think that's where it came up. A mystery. If she is the winner, as rumored, who will vote for her? Great gameplay incoming. I think she's going to have to turn on Riz, and that's going to be her winning moment. Because right now Riz has it hands down. So I feel like if she pulls out the win, and I didn't know it was rumored that she wins. But I haven't been digging and I've been really busy. So that's probably why.
I mean, it could, maybe that's the reason they put them on the season, because it was this epic betrayal. And maybe you do see Blue Sophie and Savannah team up, because they had that moment where they kind of foreshadowed it, like they're getting close and they steal Rizzo's idol. But it would have to be next episode, because I think he was saying they would have to play it, that episode, which I don't see it happening next episode. Right, because they still need the numbers. They still need 3. They can't go. So, or maybe they're just fake. I don't know. But I guess he was saying that they have the idol, then they can use the extra vote to really fake him out. So maybe that's what it is. But I agree. Like, Savannah's only going to win if she makes a big move over the top of Rizzo and potentially gets him out. And then Sophie's there at the end with Savannah, and Sophie, since she's really nice, female SpongeBob. We love SpongeBob, but she'll kind of validate Savannah and unintentionally lead to Savannah's win, positioning her as the mastermind, the person who's kind of running the show. And so Blue Sophie was kind of the tag along, was the sidekick.
Yeah. Sophie definitely gives
sidekick energy.
Sidekick energy for sure. Yeah. I like the Mike Holloway reference on this one. So we did get to see 2 challenges today or yesterday in the episode, which I liked, but they were just finishing a challenge, and we went to go to break, and Jeff says, if you want to come out and play Survivor, we've got challenges, we got fun in the sun, all on the beaches of Fiji. And I thought that was interesting to me that he actually said Fiji. Like, there's never... that's just like the new permanent home of Survivor now. We're just not even going to pretend that we're going to even maybe go somewhere else. We're just going to say, hey, come to Fiji and play Survivor. It's the new slogan of the country. So was anyone else surprised to hear that, or did you not even notice it?
I didn't even notice it. I was sorry. I was thinking about somebody at Thanksgiving, the hot Grim Reaper, just like, praying, dear sweet baby Jesus, got to pray for Savannah tonight. That she wins all the challenges, just having that prayer. So thank you for the visual, Grim Reaper. That was great. I thought they've always thought Fiji has been their home. I mean, on Google, it shows Survivor like if you go to maps.google.com, because I'm a nerd, and you type in Survivor Fiji, it shows you like all the things. So they pretty much are there forever. It's cost effective. It makes sense. They love the people. A lot of Fijians work for Survivor, so it's just a good connection.
It is, and then here it is. Fiji cost $25,000, so get on Survivor and save some money. You could
God,
win some. That's the way to do it.
it is.
It was so hot in Fiji. Yeah, I can imagine. We saw Jeff having a hard time with Fiji this year. I want to move into some of the other things that we saw this episode. There was a lot of talk about chickens. Are we do they honestly think they're going to get eggs from these chickens, and that's going to be what are they doing, and why are those chickens sticking around?
Has a chicken ever laid an egg on Survivor?
Yes.
They have,
Yes.
like season 2. Like you need more than 26 days to lay an egg. I'm guessing, right? What's the period of time for an egg?
I think they lay an egg every day, Brandon.
Do they really?
Yes, they do.
They said they haven't been laying eggs.
I know. I don't know why. It's not a happy chicken, apparently.
Did you skip the first grade?
You need a
We
happy
didn't talk
chicken.
about chickens.
We need a chicken expert.
I guess it was third grade.
Impregnated
You didn't hatch the egg.
Hold on.
Learn about the life cycle of the chicken.
No.
Chickens never leave. They walk around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the compromise. They're like, we're not going to kill the chickens, even though we're all starving. Okay. And then the consolation, or like what they're going to deal with, is chickens clucking around their camp all day. It's like, you're super bored. Like, wouldn't you just I'm not saying like you would cure your boredom by killing a chicken, but like
you're
not doing
hungry.
anything all day.
Chase a chicken.
Just like you already killed one too. Nobody wants to do it. This is the lack of the blue collar energy on the show. It's like there's only nerds who can't even kill a chicken and eat a chicken. Stevens literally has PTSD.
Building a rocket ship in the back somewhere.
Say that again?
He's building a rocket ship in the back somewhere. Right. So
200 eggs a year.
You know how
many, Brandon, how many they do lay eggs.
Birds a rocket kills.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They do lay a lot of eggs. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Now you're gonna have to own some chickens. You'd have eggs every day.
I guess so. I might.
Not these chickens though.
Not these chickens. They're not happy chickens. They're not getting the right stuff that they need.
Well, they're watching their loved ones being killed off. Like
they have PTSD now. Yeah. No more eggs for you.
Yeah.
So there seems to be a lot of chicken talk, and then we ended up in some shark-infested waters, which was random and weird as well. I think they're really looking for one-liners that are going to really hit and like make that viral moment for them on the show. And I wish they would stop doing that.
That was like season 41, things you say about like broccolis are just baby trees or whatever. Like
there's a shark swimming around with human teeth.
Okay, that was kind of funny though. Steven was like, I imagine that there's a shark somewhere with a necklace with human teeth all over it.
But what does it mean?
And he's like, and I would tell him, just keep going, which you would need to do, because if sharks stop, they die.
What does it mean though?
What does it mean? I would take Shaheen's singing the song, the theme song during that. To me, I thought that was viral. That was a great moment. I wanted to see more of that.
He's just a great guy.
Yeah,
I thought he was going somewhere with it, and then it just like there's nothing.
He lost his train.
I had high hopes. It had nothing. Yeah,
nothing. They do spend a lot of time around camp, and then the cameras, don't show us everything. And there's a lot of downtime when they're just sitting around doing nothing, passing time.
Like, take away those stupid sayings about sharks and teeth and everything, and give me like, how did they form the teams they had? Like on the, we'll draw for teams, or we'll do a schoolyard pick. Like I want
to see the schoolyard pick.
Schoolyard pick. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, I would actually like to see that. We did get an extra challenge that we get 2 this episode, so that's always a bonus. But I would love to see what are they going through when they're doing that schoolyard pick. So in my mind, like Riz was one of the captains, and so he didn't end up with Savannah. So obviously Christina picked Savannah first to keep her away from Riz. Like I wanted to see that whole thing play out.
Yeah. And there was no puzzle this week at all.
No,
I thought
no puzzles.
the endurance challenge was a little bit different than we've seen in the past. Like it was almost like an Australia Survivor type challenge when it comes to an endurance one. So I was very happy, CBS Survivor, with your challenges this week.
Oh, good. We'll let them know. Thanks for that vote of confidence.
Yeah.
All right.
It's for you guys.
I agree. Do you think Savannah had an advantage because she was super short, so her legs were pretty much straight, and everyone else's legs were like kind of bent. So I was practicing on the couch, and I felt like when you did like straight, it was easier, or like it used just a different muscle. Brandon's testing it out right now.
What were you practicing with? Like, were you just like, was it so you're on the couch?
Yeah. And I took a dinner plate and I put it against.
Did you really?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I love that.
And I put it against the
dog. Pillow. A book would work. Yeah.
Yeah. A pillow.
I can see how short legs would be different. I'm trying to think of like a squat. If you're all the way down in a squat, well, it
extending your legs, I feel like, and you can lock your knees in versus like your legs are bent.
Yeah.
It just was different. I mean, it should have been in proportion to how tall the person was. So everyone.
I agree with that. For as hard as they tried to,
she was like, "I'm not even sweating." It's like, how? Like, well, maybe because you're like, 5 foot tall, right? Like maybe that's the reason.
Yeah, I think she won because she's really good at isolated exercises. But I do see how like that would be a short man's game. With that being said about if you can lock your legs or whatever, that is interesting. For as hard as they try to make other challenges fair weight wise, I'm surprised that this was one that they were just like, we'll just make them all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Because you don't get shorter. Driver.
Steven is tall and he won.
Was he tall?
Good point.
Yeah.
Well, all the other guys were kind of like not very in shape. Jawan, like Alex, like I guess in Rizzo, he sucks. He was like out right away. So I think maybe with Steven, I mean, and Steven actually is a fit guy. I mean, so Steven's kind of a challenge beast type of thing. But I mean, the girls, it seemed to last a lot longer than the guys, But you have a point there. You have a point. But I just think Steven's competition was maybe worse.
Yeah, well, they didn't last nearly as long, and you could tell they were struggling in their core, and they were definitely, legs were bent, and they were like almost like doing a crunch, and so you could see them just having much more of a difficult time with it. I love what Gardy says here about we don't see anything about the dynamics as much, so the schoolyard pick is somehow a secret scene. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I didn't really like that either. It was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well, Steven also had the space backs, so that kind of kept him in longer too.
Train.
Oh yeah, he had a lot to worry about. Australian Survivor, they fit the distance to the contestants much better. Yeah, I do agree with that. I just think that they do some things on Australian Survivor better than we do here. And it's not like, let's let go of our pride stuff and be like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's do that too. Like, why would you not, to make it better?
Mm-hmm.
But oh no, if they're doing it on Australian Survivor, we can't do that here because that'll make us look bad. No, we're all Survivor fans. We want to see good stuff everywhere. We want to be proud of the American version as we are of the Australian version.
I do want to see an Australian player come and play U.S. Survivor, like they've done.
I do too.
Survivor. That'd be interesting. I would love that, and it would show that there isn't that weird secret animosity between.
Right? Why?
So
why is it? It's all from the same. I don't get that.
I know.
Like, are they? Did they start that because they wanted it to be like root for your country or root for your team kind of a thing, right? Was that the goal? Because now you go on Australian Survivor and they have people from all over the world. They have, I mean, they're if you look at the players, and it's not just the one season, they've had players from different countries a lot on Australian Survivor, and we get Canada. Sorry.
Yeah, which I'm like, I would love to be on sometime. And if we only take on Canada, not all the other countries, then there goes everybody's shot. The probability completely goes crazy, exponentially crazy. But yeah, once, like, do it once. It's a Jeff exclusive.
It's a Jeff thing exclusively. Yeah, it could be a Jeff thing. And here's the thing that I don't get though, because for Australia's Survivor to be Australia's Survivor, it's like an iceberg where a piece of it just broke off, and they're like, okay, we're gonna send that one to Australia. There's Survivor shows all around the world. So they have to have gotten the rights to use that. They're all interconnected because it's like Traitors and all these other shows that have like the different versions.
I mean, it would eat into Jeff's ratings. I mean, if you can watch your own country's Survivor, then like you're not going to watch American Survivor. I mean, you probably still would, but there's kind of this.
If you're a true Survivor fan, you watch as many as you can.
Right. So maybe Jeff's just being strategic here. He's playing Survivor of Survivors.
Oh, I get you.
You know what I mean?
And that's his viewpoint on that. I can see that. And so, yeah, his first Survivor was Sweden, by the way.
First Survivor was in Sweden.
Yep. I knew that.
From who?
So Jeff Probst reportedly earns royalties or ongoing income from international distribution.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means like if like he gives like U.S. Survivor can be watched in other countries, or if that means that other country survivors he gets royalties from those as well.
Probably
and I don't know
both.
or both, yeah. So I don't know what the percentage is either. So like, is it very minimal to where it wouldn't make sense for him to have those survivors do better than his? I mean, it's business, so I think he has to take in not that he's like losing a lot of money and not probably rich, but that'd be interesting to know the breakdown for that.
Yeah,
he hasn't paid rent for like 25 years, living on Fiji all day. So
yeah,
right. Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be tough on him. I thought for sure we'd see we've seen maybe this 50 is going to be his last. I'll still say I do think there's a possibility of that, even though he's not saying it and he's talking about the 51 and 52 and you should come get off the couch and come out and play. Doesn't mean he's going to be at the helm. He might still be executive producer, but it might be time to bring JLP over. He's looking for a job. And I still think that it's all the coinky dink that he's, David the Golden God goes in to take over Australia, and the ultimate being the American version of Survivor, and JLP happens to be done, and then all of a sudden we're hitting 50. I just think there's a whole lot of stuff going on, and I think that we're like, if we're playing Survivor, we have to take into account that these things are happening and look at it as that's a possibility. So JLP might have an immunity idol in his pocket. Definitely a beware advantage of some sort. And tribe swap. There we go. Maybe this is the ultimate tribe swap. So I love to know what the viewers think about JLP possibly taking Jeff's spot. It's not even, it might be rumored. I don't know. It's just my best guess.
Yeah.
I'm making it a rumor because I think that it's a possibility. I think all roads, they're definitely pointing in that direction.
No coincidences.
Yeah. But so much better casting characters, more mature and socially diverse. Jeff might be a little jealous. Oh, I think he's definitely jealous. I mean, I think he has a part of it, but I don't know. Yeah.
Well, somebody also said this too. It's like, they still have beautiful people on Australian Survivor. Survivor used to be all these beautiful people, and now,
we have the hot Grim Reaper.
What was that?
We have the hot Grim Reaper this season.
That's right. In our chat, the hot Grim Reaper.
No, they called Savannah that, right? The hot Grim Reaper. She called herself that. That's right.
Mermaid Dragon.
Mermaid Dragon. See, we have.
But I mean, this is the thing. Australia, you have these like, rugby. You have like these, these super. In American Survivor, it's like they don't even allow them to wear a bikini anymore. They all have to wear, Gymshark on the beach, at all times. So like this is, I think, another thing that makes us that gives us this nostalgia when watching the Australian Survivor. Is you have King George in a Speedo. I'm just joking. But like, like that was shocking. That was the thing about Survivor. It was like, you would get Richard Hatch naked. You would get you would get Philip walking around in his pink undies. You don't get that on American Survivor because we have compliance, right? We have a legal department.
What has happened to our show today? Brandon's out.
These people aren't naked enough.
Yeah. Right. Where's Phillips?
Exactly. And just all the craziness of all of it. Richard Hatch. I mean, Richard Hatch, the ultimate.
Right. It adds something. It adds the awkward, gross sexual no. Okay. Yeah, what's happening in the show today? I only watched US Survivor season 1 to 20. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if Sage were to take off other people's, like, what would you say if Sage started taking everybody's blackheads off and putting them in a jar like this season? Like,
see, that's what
is the weirdest thing.
Is that what you want, guys?
That's just the weirdest thing. And she needs to stop saying that. That's just
the second time. That's actually the third time.
The third time. I know. It's so, I don't get it. No, that's not the nugget you want people to remember you by. Like, that's not the thing, dude.
But I don't want people remembering me by my boxer color. Like, that's so. What would need to happen? Pick a character, and what would they need to do to be like, this is Philip Shepard in undies? What could be the equivalent?
Oh,
that's a good question. What could be that?
I thought about this for a long time.
What could be that
King
iconic?
George
King George in a Speedo.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was like that. I think,
or like the medallion. I think when he tattooed the medallion, that was kind of fun.
Yeah,
that's commitment right there.
All right.
No,
Jonathan picking up the entire cube and slamming it across the line. We need to see that. We need to see Cochran's pasty body sunburnt.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, we're getting the live version of everything. So you have that one crazy lady who put that rich guy's shoes and put dirt in them and like threw them in the water. And this year we get some guy randomly hiding a shoe. Like, so I get that. I get that there needs to be a lot more like, oh, really? Wow. A wow factor. So yeah,
I'll take some that. Pranksters. We want to see some dirty deeds done dirt cheap. We need some fun stuff out. We just do. Like, if you think of the great players, what are they known for? If I said Parvati, the first thing that comes to my mind, and it's not about how well she played in the game, but like when I think of her, what do I see, like, flirt is the first thing I think of for her. Flirt, right? She's a flirt, right? If I think of Boston Rob, what's the first thing about his gameplay? Not about his winning and all the other stuff outside of it. What's the first thing that you think of when you think of Boston Rob?
The hat, the Boston hat.
True.
That's what I think of. Yeah.
I think of the buddy system. That's the first thing. Controlling buddy system. That's like what I read. That to me, he like really mastered that control. Yeah. That was his kind of thing. And Parvati did her thing because of the way she flirted. Charm, yeah.
So I'll play devil's advocate on that. So with Riz God, I'm trying to sell to you guys that he is that great of a player. In the fact that both times he should have been the one going home. He should have played his idol, but yet he also picks the person that should be sent home. So I think that we have a suitable player who's got his quirks, who's I think his voice is another familiar voice. If you were watching from another room, you're like, okay, that's Riz God. So he still might be a lighter version of what you guys are kind of looking for, but I mean, he's pretty close to.
Yeah, he's bringing a lot. I do think he's bringing a lot this time. I mean, he is bringing things, and I do think it's masterful the way he can shift things and push everything off, and all of this that he's made it so far and doing all these things. I see that, and I do believe that. And it's the Savannah issue that I have, that I just don't think she's. I think Riz is still managing the jury well, and I think Savannah is not. And
I'd agree with
we
that.
get votes from the jury, and that the jury has to be. We have to keep that front of mind. What Riz is doing is he's like, even Alex, when he got voted out, he was like, and Riz was like, well, at least you're admitting, you're saying it out loud now, like you're playing
Yeah.
both sides. And Alex was like, yeah, ha, ha. And like there wasn't this. It was like, okay,
Yeah, and he's as prideful as Savannah too, but his is all like off when he's like alone, calling himself Razgod. No one else calls him that. No one else probably knows he calls himself that. So I think he has more of a social awareness, and it's the social awareness that'll get him the win over Savannah at the end if the two are going to the end. Yeah, agree.
yeah. Well, we got to wrap things up here. Who goes home next week?
Ooh.
Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of Savannah and Sophie and Riz convincing them to get off like a Sage or Jawan, since they're playing the middle, and then you have kind of this face off. I do think you'll probably see some sort of advantage play. What would it be? I guess the extra vote, and they would want to use it to get off of an actual threat, which might be Steven, because he's good in the challenges. So I'm thinking it might be Steven. I think Sophie and Savannah, they're going to try to do that, and then it's pretty much game over. Steven, yeah.
Yep. I think that Christina is so like not a factor in any of this. I think more stink would have been made of her given to somebody else had it been for her not having really a lot of gameplay at all. Sage now knows that Christina has this idol play. I think they're seeing Steven. He wins this immunity challenge, so maybe he needs to go if he's one of the stronger ones remaining. So I'll say Steven as well. But I said him last week, so we'll see who Rizgod wants to go home, and that person will go home. I'm gonna say he's 3 for 3. Rizgod, send somebody else home.
Yeah, Christina is a go. So we
That's a good
had
point.
just before that we had that Christina's crying and doesn't want to be here anymore. I think we've seen that before from other players in the past, and they've stayed and they've gone through. They just have that. Like, I think sometimes things just get to you and they have that moment of weakness. But I think Christina's in a really strong position still. So I think she's. I do agree that she's an easy take to the end if. I think we'll see Savannah maybe teaming up with Christina at some point down the road if they're all still in the game, and she'll be like, I'm taking you to the end, Christina. You haven't done anything, so you're an easy, I can beat you. And that'll work. But that was who I was thinking was Steven. I think that he is going to be here's how I see it. He's going to be, what did they call Soph this week? A casualty of war. I think Steven will be a casualty of war in this next episode. I think they're going to see a lot of play. I think we'll see the vote played. I think we'll see idle play or steal or something like that will happen. I think Steven will end up going home because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think what we are seeing is that they're a little more focused on, we have to get rid of Rizzo. But I don't think it's going to be this next week. I think that's going to be that's still a few votes down the road for Savannah. So yeah, I think Steven gets caught in the crossfire and he's out. So that's going to wrap it up for us today, guys. Thanks for watching. Great chat. Thanks to all, like everybody, for being in the chat and being so active. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe and follow. We will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.